It's Saturday morning. You're both sitting at the kitchen table. Bills spread out in front of you. Coffee getting cold. You're exhausted. You both worked 45 hours this week. Juggled daycare pickup. Made dinner. Did laundry. Collapsed into bed every night. And now you're looking at the numbers trying to figure out why there's nothing left. You both work full-time. Combined income, $95,000. Two professionals with degrees and benefits. You did everything right. And there's $340 in your checking account. With a week until payday. One of you says, "Where did it all go?" The other says, "I don't know, but we can't keep doing this." If this is your Saturday morning, if you're working twice as hard and feeling twice as broke, this video is going to show you exactly what's happening. And I need to tell you up front. Today's couple is composite. I've analyzed over 20 real budgets from dual-income families making $80,000 to $110,000. I've used Bureau of Labor Statistics data, census medians, and real expense reports. The names are changed, the city is changed, but every number you're about to see is real. Hit subscribe if two incomes somehow equals more stress, not less. My name is Sarah, and what I'm about to show you is going to make you angry. That's okay. You should be angry, because the system that told you two incomes would make you secure is the same system that trapped you. Let me introduce you to Alex and Jordan. Composite couple, Atlanta metro area, both 32 years old, one child who's 3 years old. Alex works in marketing for a mid-sized company. Salary,
We're so happy to see you.
$55,000.
Yeah, come play
Jordan
with
works
me.
in administration
Let's take a
for
walk
health
around the
business.
yard.
Great
Salary,
idea. It's a lovely day.
$40,000. Combined household income, $95,000. That puts them in the top 30% of American households. They're doing better than 2/3 of the country on paper. They should be comfortable. They should be building wealth. They should be sleeping well at night. They're not. They fight about money every month. They have $2,000 in credit card debt that never goes down. They haven't been on a date night in 6 months. They're both exhausted, both resentful, and both wondering if they made a mistake.
Trời ơi, nó đang khép lại
Not
rồi.
married,
Giữ chặt con, chúng ta phải ra khỏi đây.
having a kid
Nó dừng
in
lại
a
rồi, nhìn
system
kìa.
that
Nhanh lên,
punishes
ra ngoài thôi.
Let's
Cuối
look at
cùng
where their
cũng
money
thoát rồi.
actually goes. Because this is where the trap reveals itself. Start with Alex's paycheck. $55,000 gross. That's $4,583 per month before anything comes out. Federal income tax. Alex is married, filing jointly with Jordan. But let's look at just Alex's portion. About $5,200 per year in federal tax. That's $433 per month, FICA. Social Security and Medicare, 7.65% of gross. That's $4,200 per year, $350 per month. No way around this. State income tax. Georgia has a progressive rate, but at Alex's income, it works out to about 5% effective. That's $2,750 per year, about $229 per month. Health insurance. Their employer offers a family plan. The company covers 60% of the premium. Alex pays 40%. That family plan costs $750 per month total. Alex's portion, $300 per month, $3,600 per year. And Alex
Here are your
is
typical
trying to be
paycheck deductions.
responsible.
Federal tax,
Trying to
FICA,
save
state
for
tax,
retirement.
health insurance, and your 401k
Contributing
contribution.
4% to the 401k.
This brings your total deductions to
That's
$1,400.
$2,200 per year, about $183 per month. Let's add it up. Federal tax, $433. FICA, $350. State tax, $229. Health insurance, $300. $400 and $1,000, $183. That's $1,495 per month in deductions. Alex's take-home, $4,583 minus $1,495 equals $3,088 per month. Now Jordan's paycheck, $40,000 gross. That's $3,333 per month before deductions. Federal tax, about $3,000 per year at their combined income level. That's $250 per month. FICA, 7.65%. That's $3,600 per year, $255 per month. State tax, 5% effective, $2,000 per year, about $167 per month. Jordan's employer doesn't offer benefits, so no additional deductions. Total deductions, $672 per month. Jordan's take-home, $3,333 minus $672 equals $2,661 per month. Now let's combine them. Alex brings home $3,088. Jordan brings home $2,661. Combined monthly take home, $5,749. Do the math with me. They make $95,000 gross per year. That's $7,917 per month. After taxes and deductions, they actually see $5,749. They lost $2,168 per month. That's $26,016 per year that disappears before they buy groceries, pay rent, or put gas in their cars. You're working for the government and the insurance company before you're working for yourself. Okay, now let's see where that $5,749 actually goes. And I want you to follow along, because if you're in a similar situation, these numbers are going to feel very familiar. Housing. They rent a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent school district. Not fancy, not downtown, just safe with okay schools nearby. Rent, $1,850 per month. In 1970, the median family spent 22% of their income on housing. Alex and Jordan are spending 32% of their take-home. And they're not even building equity. They're renting. Childcare. This is the killer. Their 3-year-old is in daycare 5 days a week. The rate, $350 per week. That's $1,400 per month. In 1970, this expense didn't exist. One parent was home. That was the backup plan. Alex and Jordan activated their backup plan just to keep working. And it cost them 24% of their take-home. Transportation? They need 2 cars because they both work. One car is paid off, but the other has a payment. $320 per month. Car insurance for both cars? $200 per month. Gas for both cars, commuting daily, $130 per month. Total, $650 per month. Student loans. Alex has $30,000 left from undergrad. Jordan has $25,000. Combined minimum payment, $380 per month. This is money for education they needed to get jobs that don't pay enough to cover the loans. Groceries. They cook at home most nights. They're being careful. They shop sales. Still, feeding a family of 3 costs about $650 per month. Utilities, internet, and cell phones. Electric and water, $150. Internet, $70. 2 cell phone lines, $60. Total, $280 per month. Healthcare costs beyond insurance. Co-pays when someone gets sick. Prescriptions, the stuff insurance doesn't fully cover. About $150 per month average. Credit card minimum payment? They have $2,000 in credit card debt from an emergency 6 months ago. Car repair, they couldn't cash flow. Minimum payment, $120 per month. Let's add up the fixed costs. Housing, $1,850. Childcare, $1,400. Cars, $650. Student loans, $380. Groceries, $650. Utilities, $280. Healthcare, $150. Credit card, $120. Total fixed monthly expenses, $5,480. They bring home $5,749. They spend $5,480 on non-negotiable expenses. They have $269 left. Let's call it $270. Read that again. 2 incomes, 2 full-time jobs, 2 professionals who did everything society told them to do. And they have $270 per month for everything else. What's everything else? Clothes, haircuts. The kid needs new shoes every 3 months because kids grow. The kid needs birthday presents for friends' parties. Car maintenance beyond gas, oil changes, registration fees, household items, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, toothpaste, and life, entertainment, a movie, a dinner out, anything that makes you feel human. $270. One unexpected expense and they're negative. They're putting it on the credit card, which means next month the minimum payment goes up, which means less than $270, which means more credit card next month. This is the spiral. This is the trap. And here's what makes me angry. This isn't because Alex and Jordan are bad with money. This isn't because they're spending too much on lattes or avocado toast or whatever garbage advice the internet gives you. This is math. This is structure. This is a system that expanded to consume two incomes. Let me tell you about Elizabeth Warren's research. Before she was a senator, she was a bankruptcy law professor at Harvard. She studied over 2,000 families who filed for bankruptcy in the early 2000s. And she found something that shocked her. Families with two working parents were more likely to file for bankruptcy than single-income families in the 1970s. Think about that. More income, more earners, more education, and more likely to go broke. She called it the two-income trap. And here's what she discovered. When women entered the workforce in large numbers in the 70s and 80s, families suddenly had two incomes instead of one. That should have made them wealthier, right? More money coming in equals more security. But that's not what happened. What happened is that the market adjusted. Housing prices got bid up because families could suddenly afford bigger mortgages with two incomes. Sellers and banks realized that dual-income families could pay more. So prices rose. Childcare became an industry because both parents were working. Demand skyrocketed. Prices followed. Healthcare costs shifted more and more to employees. Premiums went up. Deductibles went up. Out-of-pocket maximums went up. Because employers knew families had two incomes to absorb the cost. The cost of everything adjusted upward to consume the second income. And here's the truly insane part. In 1970, a single-income family had a built-in safety net. If the breadwinner lost their job, the other parent was already home. They couldn't lose what they didn't have. In 2026, a dual-income family has no safety net. Both parents are already working. If either person loses their job, the family is immediately in crisis. There's no backup. The backup is already deployed. Alex and Jordan have $270 per month in margin. If either one loses their job, even for 30 days, they're catastrophically behind. They can't pay rent. They can't pay childcare. They spiral into debt immediately. They need both incomes to survive. And that means they're trapped. They can't negotiate. They can't take risks. They can't say no. Because one missed paycheck means disaster. The system did this on purpose. Banks saw two incomes and said, great, we can approve bigger mortgages. Landlords saw two incomes and said, great, we can charge more rent. Childcare centers saw two incomes and said, great, we can raise tuition. And families like Alex and Jordan are working twice as hard, stressed twice as much, and somehow more broke than their parents were on one income. This is by design. They designed it to extract maximum labor from both of you and give you just enough to keep you showing up. You're not failing the system is failing you. Now let me show you what this does to their relationship. Because money stress doesn't just hurt your bank account. It destroys everything. Alex and Jordan are both exhausted. They work full-time. Come home, tag team parenting, make dinner, do baths, read stories, get the kid to bed. Then they collapse. They haven't had a real conversation in weeks. They haven't been on a date in 6 months because they can't afford a babysitter and they're too tired anyway. They fight about money constantly. Alex sees Jordan spent $45 at Target. What was that for? Jordan feels interrogated. It was stuff for the house, stuff we needed. Why are you attacking me? Neither person is wrong. Both people are drowning. Jordan does most of the mental load, remembering doctor appointments, tracking when the kid needs new clothes, planning meals, managing the house. Invisible work that takes energy. But Jordan earns less, so there's guilt. I should be contributing more financially. Alex feels pressure as the higher earner. Feels like they should have answers, should be able to fix this, but has no control because there's no money to control. Just stress and blame. They're not fighting about the $45 at Target. They're fighting about being trapped in a system that takes everything from both of them and gives nothing back. They're not mad at each other, they're mad at the situation. But they don't have language for that, so they fight about who spent what. This is what the two-income trap does to relationships. It turns partners into opponents. It makes you both feel like you're working as hard as you can and the other person doesn't see it, doesn't appreciate it, doesn't understand. You're both right. And the system is what's wrong. So what do you do? How do you escape a trap that requires both incomes but gives you no room to breathe? Let me give you 3 steps. And I'm not going to lie to you. This is not a quick fix. This is a long-term strategy. But it works. Step 1. The truth audit. This weekend, you and your partner sit down together. No phones, no distractions. You bring real numbers. Use Alex and Jordan's budget as a template. List every single fixed expense, not what you think you spend. What you actual take home, not your gross. What hits your accounts after taxes and deductions. See your version of the $270 moment. Or $400. Or maybe you're already negative and didn't realize it. Here's the script. This isn't about blame. This is about seeing the trap clearly so we can plan our escape together. We're on the same team. The trap is the enemy. Write it down. Make it visible. Both of you need to see the same reality at the same time. The goal is not to shame each other. The goal is shared clarity. Once you both see the trap, you can both start planning the way out. Step 2, the one income stress test. Next 30 days. Here's the question that reveals everything. What happens if one of us loses our job tomorrow? Not because you're planning to quit, not because anyone's getting fired, but because you need to know your vulnerability. Sit down together. Calculate. Can you survive on one income for even 60 days? Most dual income families, the answer is no, not even close. And that's terrifying. Because it means you're operating at 100% capacity with zero margin for error. But here's what this exercise does. It shows you where the system has you trapped. And once you see it, you can start making different choices. Action item. Identify 3 expenses you could cut immediately if one of you lost your job. Not to cut them now, but to know your options. Could you move in with family temporarily? Could you pull your kid from daycare and one of you stay home? Could you sell one car? These are hard questions, but having answers reduces panic. When you know your options, even bad options, you feel less helpless, less trapped. Step 3, build your one income foundation, 90 days and beyond. This is the long game. The goal is to restructure your life so you can survive on one income and build wealth with the other. I'm not saying someone has to quit their job, though for some families, that math actually works out. But I'm saying, if you can live on Alex's $3,088 per month, Jordan's $2,661 becomes pure growth money. Savings, investments, debt payoff, building a future. Here's how you test it. For the next 90 days, live on the lower income, or live on one person's income. Bank the other one completely. You're going to discover obstacles immediately. We can't pay rent on one income. Okay, so maybe you need to move. We can't afford childcare on one income. Okay, so maybe one of you goes part-time or you find family care. The obstacles aren't failure. The obstacles are information. They're showing you what needs to change. Most couples who do this realize we need to live closer to work, or we need to go down to one car, or we need to change our childcare situation, or we need to move to a lower cost of living area. These are big changes. I'm not minimizing that, but here's the truth. You're already trapped. The current situation isn't sustainable. So you can either stay trapped and slowly drown, or you can make hard choices that lead to freedom. This isn't about deprivation. This is about escaping the trap. And the way out is building a life that doesn't require 100% of both incomes just to survive. Here's what happened to Alex and Jordan. They're 6 months into this process. They moved to a cheaper apartment. It's 20 minutes farther from work. Not ideal. But rent dropped from $1,850 to $1,550. They saved $300 per month. They went down to one car. Jordan's job is closer. Jordan bikes now. They saved $250 per month in car payment, insurance, and gas. They found a home daycare that costs $1,100 instead of $1,400. Saved $300 per month. Total savings, $850 per month. They're not living on one income yet. But they went from $270 margin to $1,120 margin. For the first time in their relationship, they're not panicking every month. They paid off the credit card. They have $3,000 in savings. They still have a long way to go, but they're not trapped anymore. They're on a path. And here's what changed in their relationship. They stopped fighting about money because they have a plan they both believe in. They're making sacrifices together toward a shared goal. That's partnership. That's what marriage is supposed to be. My partner and I were Alex and Jordan 5 years ago. Different city, different numbers, same trap. We stayed stuck for 3 years because we thought 2 incomes meant we were winning. We were losing. It took us 18 months to restructure. We moved twice. We changed jobs. We made hard choices. And now we live on one income. The other one builds wealth. We have margin. We have options. We have peace. That's available to you too. But you have to see the trap first. You have to get angry at the right thing, not each other, the system. If this is your life, if you're Alex and Jordan, hit that like button. You're not alone. This is happening to millions of families. Drop a comment, tell me your combined income and how much you have left after fixed cost. Let's see the real numbers. When you see other people commenting, you'll realize this isn't a you problem. It's a system problem. Share this with your partner. Watch it together. Have the truth audit this weekend. Download the budget template in the description. Fill it out together. You're not failing. You're trapped. But traps can be escaped. It just takes seeing them clearly first.